Greetings, Dante, and welcome to the sixth circle of hell. Violence! That's right, everybody. Welcome back to Stationeers. I'm angry. This is the... What is this, dude? That's right, everybody. We're back in hell. Again, the sixth circle for a change, which is, to be honest, not exactly what I'd consider prime holiday real estate, but what do I know? I'm just a bald guy. I'm just a bad guy. We do actually have a little somebody to talk to for once, which is kind of nice. He sells some tools. He sells some pipe. I do like pipe. Quote, unquote. Oh, we can sell him ship refuel or muffins. Get the hell out of my... Just go. Go. Get out of here. Go on. Scrap. I'm done taking prisoners. Death sentence. Death sentence to all optimizers. Go on. Get gone. You're lucky this thing doesn't work. Anyway, thank you all so much for sticking with this series. It's been really cool to continue to make these, and I've got a lot left to do, so let's go ahead and get to it. I kind of want to get a little bit of content prepared for you guys so that in case the terrain update hits, we can continue with this series. Like, the content will still keep coming out. And of course, if you'd like to see all the backlog that Magic and I produce for this series, please go ahead and consider becoming a channel member. It'll be available to you from the microsecond it is ready to send, which is usually about a day after I make it. These go out pretty quick now. Magic is officially a Stationeers aficionado. All right, so this is what we're going to do. In the previous episode, we set up some basic atmospherics. I've torn that down so that we got a blank slate to work off of. Let's go through this step by step. We already have a volatiles filtration system, and we already have a CO2 filter. So what I want to do is a feedback into these tanks. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to connect up here. This is our unfiltered output, as well as our unfiltered input for the filtration device, which I think we can do something like that. That will work just fine. This is going to be for CO2, so we're going to run this line back to this tank. That's the idea anyway. So let me actually drop this, and we'll give it a quick spray. And in fact, in order just to cut down on the amount of energy I use vacuuming out this space with the mole of gas I'm about to drop, why don't we do something like this? Let's be smart for once. Let's split one. We'll drop the rest of the stack, and we'll paint that. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to split another one. All right. And we're going to drop that, pick up this, and we're going to put these... We're going to start building a master set. This is something I usually do, and I've been too lazy in this series to do it. Okay, we're going to build the rainbow pipe over there. Okay, there we go. We got the full master pipe set. All the crayons you could ever want. Not exactly in the most aesthetically appealing order, but it'll work for now. Okay, so the whole point of that was so that I can actually just turn off this vent and maybe actually start building up some battery reserves. It does seem to be increasing, but I actually genuinely just can't tell. The idea behind all of this is because when you pick up a pipe, you recolor the whole stack. What we can do now, right, is let's say we want a bunch of khaki pipe, which we do. We pick that up, we go ahead and drag our stack in, and then we just put one down. And that just means we can repaint it without having to constantly spray. And that's mostly just so I don't have to vacuum it back out then. Okay, so you are our CO2, but you are going to be colder CO2, but that's fine. We can just connect you to this CO2 line that's already on the floor here. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do that because that's already connected to the tank. Can I do this? Maybe? Yeah, it works. Okay, kind of goes through the wall a little bit. That's okay. All right, awesome. So that's going to send our CO2 back to this system, which is super handy. I do want to put these on. I don't really mind too much that these are these aren't the right color. Like that being black doesn't bother me too much. All right, and this is going to be our CO2 filter. Oh, you know what? We have to spray paint stuff anyway. Okay, that was a bit moot. I forgot about I have to paint these You can't paint them in the womb, like on the pile. It doesn't work. That's a shame. But that does mean there's now like a trace amount of pollutant in this room, which is going to heat up. Not exactly great. It's fine. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so you are my CO2 filtration. So let's go ahead and get that made up. And we might as well make 2 filters of each kind. And there is a temptation to make heavy filters. I think it's overkill. We can also just reuse those pollutant and volatiles ones. So if I were to make some carbon dioxide filters, there we go. We'll make the medium ones. What's that? Silver, Constantin, and iron. Okay, so we'll make 2 CO2 filters. We'll want 2 of everything, really. Let's get 2 more volatiles filters as well. Actually, we only just need the 1, don't we? We can also get a pollutant filter, because we'll just use the busted one there. Why not? Waste not, want some. That's what I always say. Okay, you make the volatiles filter. We're not going to use that just yet. And I was thinking about using the trash ones in my suit, but that makes no sense. Let's rather use these. Okay, so CO2's in. Perfect. So what that means is now if there's any CO2 in this pipe, this will cycle it back through. And if you remember correctly, we're going to use our warm CO2 over here to smelt the ores because it is non-reactive. That's the whole idea. The reason we don't just put this output from this furnace into the night gas line is because there are volatiles in it which might explode. We don't want that to happen, so we are going to have to separately filter the volatiles again, even though there is this machine doing this one right here. That's not going to work for us. We're going to have to do it separately as well, as annoying and as silly as that seems. Okay, so let's set that up. And honestly, I want that to be above this one. I think that'll be a bit smarter, is if it kind of just sits above the other one, because we're not going to put that into a tank, right? It's not going to, above the CO2 one, I mean. Because we're not going to put that in a tank. But to do that, I think I do need a frame. And I kind of need everything I'm carrying here, don't I? Except maybe these cable coils. Those can go away. The wall's in the way. That's annoying. Okay, I am going to have to crack the base open, which means we should get these stowed away somewhere. Right over here should be fine, because everything's about to go flying. And there it goes. Okay, because once we've done that, we can do some silly nonsense like this. We can build another filtration unit right above it. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, because I don't mind if... because that's just going to go straight back to that tank. I'm going to put the tanks above the other ones. Okay, cool. So I don't think we're going to need to do that again, so I'm willing to put this back down. Come here. Okay, pipes in. Followed by some cable coil. Lovely. And this is going to be bright red. Okay, and then we're basically just going to do the same thing. So this is going to go up to here. And the unfiltered return just goes back to the same line. And then the filtered return comes out of there and goes over to our volatiles tank. And we are going to need some more insulated pipe pretty soon. Okay, just building over all of it again to make sure I didn't miss anything, and that looks great. Very, very nice. Okay, we put this away. We grab this. No, not that one. We grab this one. Yep. And this one. And we can go ahead and set up our next filtration unit. All right, so you'd all be put on. These will get their own IC10 chips, and those IC10 chips should actually just connect to these ones, right? I think that should work. We can just wire them into the same networks. It might be easier just to dupe the code. I'm not gonna lie. Although, to be honest, we don't care about pressure in these tanks from these ones. These don't need code. These can just work. Because they'll run whenever we tell them to feed stuff through. So never mind. That's gonna be totally fine. They just need to be on or not on. Yeah, we don't even need data on these, but I will connect it up anyway. And we will make this the black line. just to make it extra hard to ever find it again. Okay, so that sorts out the 2 gases we already filter for. Let's go ahead and get the next one, which we actually probably need the least, but I'm going to filter for anyway, and that is pollutant. Now, we could send this pollutant up to our storage tanks, but I'm still under the impression that we might end up redesigning that. So for now, I'm just going to grab these, and this is going to be our next filtration line, and this one is going to specifically filter for pollutant. This is a bit of a problem. This cable is kind of in the way. Is there a better way I can do this? Let me think. I could go under. Yeah, under is probably the easiest way to do this. Yeah, something like that, right? That gets us across, and then we can run power down the back with these. Something like this. Yes. This is good. This is the way. Oh, and honestly, while I am at it, let's go ahead and clean up this situation. I would like to put some of these insulated utility pipes on this as like a bit of an extra reserve. And honestly, what better place to do it than like right at the source? Let's do one right there. Another one right there. I have 8, so I can do 4 stack, right? Yeah. So why don't we do something like this? This is our output pipe, and then I would do, I don't know, just this is like aesthetics now. I would do that with maybe this and this and this and this. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. I quite like that. And that's mostly just to add volume to this pipe network. Again, all things of the same network at the moment do share the same internal volume. Things like tanks do have their own internal volume, which is like calculated separately from the pipe. But everything that happens in the pipe happens everywhere in the pipe instantaneously. And I believe these expansion chambers work as part of the pipe network. That might have changed by the time you watch this. This game is in constant flux, but from my current understanding, that is correct. All right, so let's wire in this one. This is going to be our pollutant filter. And unlike the CO2 and volatiles, which we already store over there, this is actually going to get a tank above it. And I think we'll put it at just that height. No, I think we should go higher. Like so. Perfect. And then there'll be another one of these. We can go ahead and lay these out now. There'll be another one of these here, and then we need 2 spaces and another one there. And I think we do actually need one more. Yeah, I think we do. Let's just make this prettier. So we need at least one more tank, probably 2, and we will build an extension of this walkway over to here so we can get up there if we need to. Right now they're just going to float in the sky, you know, in the exact same way that bricks don't. Okay, everybody's painted up real nice. This is going to be for nitrogen. That's going to be our next filter. And of course, it just is a matter now of wiring everything up. So let's go nitrogen. We'll get not nitrous, well, maybe nitrous oxide, actually. We are able to produce that, and that is a potent oxidizer. That could be pretty handy. What color am I going to make nitrogen? Black is normally what I do it. I mean, it could just be black again. Yeah, sure, why not? And I am fresh out of silicon, which is a real shame, because that is exactly what I want to filter out of that furnace. Yeah, I think we'll do nitrogen over here, and then nitrous oxide over here. And then it only really leaves oxygen, which I will filter out of this line and then send to our O2 tank, which we will probably build up here, because I want that near where we do the water combustion. There's our O2 line. I think we'll build an O2 tank over here. But yeah, we'll do the filtration for oxygen down here and then send it over there. So you can get spray painted black. So technically this is just the nitrogen line. But you know what? I don't think it matters too much. This is all going to be under the floorboards soon anyway. All right, so all of that should be able to turn on. Yes, it is. Now I haven't connected up the tanks, like the outputs just yet, which is it's okay. Let's go ahead and turn... Oh, we don't have power, do we? Where is the nearest backbone? There it is. So how can we get power over to here? We could run it along the ceiling and down. That could work. Or we could take a branch off of this network and go through the floor. Yeah, and I think we will pop up... Where's a good spot for this? Because I'd like you to be able to, like, switch it. Maybe right over, like, right in front of the furnace, to be honest. Might be kind of nice to have an APC, like, right over here. Well, it is kind of ugly. Yeah, you know what? We'll just do it over here. Where's that final... I swear to God I had another atmospherics kit somewhere here. There it is. Okay, this is the oxygen one. And unfortunately, I can't quite fit it like that. So this is going to have to fit something like... It's going to be a bit different. It's going to have to fit, like, over there. Probably like so. That's going to be our O2 filter. But if it's going to be connected weirdly, it can be connected weirdly anywhere. Aha! In fact, we could just run this line over there. And then do the oxygen filtration later. And that way our oxygen volume is lower. Is that something we want? Now that I say it out loud, I don't know. Because, yeah, we could just do, like, O2 filtering... over here? Okay, I've thought about it, and I've decided that it doesn't matter right now. Let's go ahead and put down this area power controller first. That's step one. Before we can do anything else, we need electricity, right? So let's put this down, and I think over here does work. We're going to pick this, or open that up, rather. Now, we could close this all off. We could put this behind a wall, so we don't have to look at it, but I don't think that's necessary. We'll just give it a little battery, because I don't really care if this dies when the base dies. In fact, it's probably for the best that these machines turn off first before anybody else, so they don't draw any further power from the big batteries. You need to come... You need to get all the way down there, which is going to require cracking open the old egg. But not too much, I hope. Probably just this frame. And I tend to feel a little bad about oh my God, could you, okay, all right, whatever. Just do it over here. Ah. Oh, the airflow is actually, I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah, there we go. I tend to be pretty cautious about running cable through frames, with the exception of these heavy cables. I don't mind doing it. I tend to avoid doing it for the smaller ones, but for the heavy ones I don't mind because they're less likely to short out. Because if the small ones short out inside the walls, it is sometimes genuinely almost impossible to figure out where the problem is. But if these ones do it, it doesn't really matter. But you know what? Since I'm here, I might as well just go all in on this, right? And just completely bury this thing so it looks nicer. Okay, there we go. Fully snaked over. That is now connected and will recharge. Awesome. Cool, and then the fan over there will slowly vacuum the space out for the 15th time. Lovely. I should probably stop bothering with that until we've actually got something going on here, but whatever. All right, now we can connect up the black line. And yes, I think we are going to run this connection all the way over to here, where we will filter it for oxygen. Oh, maybe we should do the oxygen over here, actually. On this side, like over here. Oh, there is a point. By the way, devs, if you're watching, I think I mentioned in the last episode, but there is a point on these stairs where if you stand, you can get stuck and you have to jetpack off. Like you lose connection with the ground, but you also can't re-find it. It's really hard to hit the spot. I tend to sort of walk into it by accident fairly often, and it is very annoying. All right, so let's test this out. Let's go ahead and pump in some... This one's in, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and put in some hot CO2. Okay, we got a nice megapascal of it in there. Oh, the output was on too. Whoops. Okay, so now we've just got a bunch of CO2 in this pipe. That makes sense. And our night gas is at 152C. That's been warmed up by the greenhouse. That's cool. Whatever. Okay, so we've got 4 megapascals of We've got 3.5 megapascals of CO2 in here. What happens now when I run the different ores through it? I want to see what we get. Okay, so let's test all of these. So let's start with uranium. I want to put uranium in here and run it through. We got 10 uranium processed, and we got 350 moles of pollutant? Holy hell. That's a lot of pollutant. Okay, so if we ever need pollutant quick, I mean, we've got the atmosphere, but on other maps, uranium is the way. Wow, that is a lot. Okay, that's been off-gassed, so no worries. Now, of course, if we want to game this, we can. So I could really cheese this, and I'll just do it once here, just to show you. I'm going to put this single stack of un-off-gas silicon in my pocket. I'm then going to put, I don't want to cheese this too much. Let's do like a quarter stack of silicon. We'll do 100 silicon, right? If I run this through, what's going to happen is nitrogen is going to build up in there. There you go. We got 70 moles, 75. It's adding up. It's adding up. Right? There we go. 112 silicon gives us quite a bit more pollutant. But 90 more pollutant, 97 pollutant, and 97 nitrogen. Okay, so it's like 50-50. Cool. If I take that silicon out and run it back through, right, on a separate stack, just like this, it'll do nothing. Nothing at all, right? You can see the silicon is processing, but nothing's happening. Watch this. Okay, so let's take that out again, except this time, we add it to the stack with the one unprocessed silicon. Let's have a look at what happens now. Oh, they fixed it! Hey! Okay, no, Magic, leave that in. Leave that in. Let's show it. They fixed it. So it used to be that you could cheese it. You could, like, repeatedly regas the same ore. It looks like each one has its own unique identifier. If we add this to the big stack here, so if I do like this, right? I want to see if it works in the other direction. So if we add 20 of this ore to the pile that's already been off-gas, is that still going to off-gas? Yes, it is, and then it stops. Okay, they fixed it. So there used to be an exploit in the game. Well done, Rocketworks, for patching this, where you could continually reprocess the same ores again and again and again to get the gas out of it. Looks like you can't do that anymore. Honestly, actually, not the worst thing in the world. I'm pretty happy they have changed that. And we haven't siphoned that much temperature out of our silicon by doing this, or out of our CO2 by doing this. I think we put a lot of gas in there, which is totally fine. The whole point of this is this is double win for us. It cools down our CO2 and it cools down our collective gases. And we are actually liquefying pollutant in there now, which is not great. Although actually, that's kind of fantastic because can't we just, we can totally just connect to the liquid output and feed that into our liquid CO2 line. Right? I think that would work, wouldn't it? Like, we can use that. I could also just put down a liquid CO2 tank somewhere here, and we can just grab that whenever we... Oh, how often are we going to have liquid CO2 in there? Not very often, I imagine. All right, but there we go. We do have our 398 silicon, so I'm actually going to take this and smelt it because we need more to make more tanks. But there you go. Now you get the idea. That's the premise we are going for. All right, so turn you on. You got nothing in the tank right now. At least nothing I want. Well, is that true? Is there a bunch of oxygen in there or something? A bit of nitrogen. Nah, nothing I really need. Let's just dump that all out into space. That is input. That is input. That is the wrong one. I didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. Just wasted a bunch of hot gas. I keep getting these mixed up. Okay, had to run some silver through, but there we go. We got the silicon smelting. Very nice. Okay, so let's go prepare the printers to make me some more tanks. So I need at least 2 more. I need 1 for my nitrogen, which we need to siphon out of that line. And I need 1 for my Oh, no, we got the 1 for the nitrous. I guess 1 for the oxygen as well. And then, I mean, we might as well grab that liquid pollutant. I think I'll use a mobile tank for this one, though. That's not what they're called. What are they called? Portable tanks? Something like that. If I got a tank connector, portable gas tank, that's the one. Insulated liquid tank, portable liquid tank Mark II, that's what I want. Okay, make me 1 of those. I think this comes with the liquid variant. We are about to find out. Okay, I'm gonna have to move that pipe to get in there. Oh, and it is storming outside. Excellent. There's our power problem solved. And yes, there is a liquids connection on the right-hand side. I can put this anywhere. Cool. I can't rotate it, right? No. Okay, so it just faces the way it faces. Gotcha. Where am I gonna fit this? I don't think I can put stuff here. No. So this pipe needs to like worm its way over and connect up there to get it off the ground level. Okay. So I gotta do some finagling here. Finagling.
Later.
That's what the base looks like outside right now. If you were wondering, I have just made a minor detour to fall into some lava. But no, mostly to just run this power cable for a volume pump. A liquid volume pump. To go ahead and take it out. And the base is getting rather large and increasingly boxy, which is just the way I like it. It's painted gray to reflect as much heat as possible. That's how that works, if you didn't know. I'm very smart. What is going on over here? Star Shop? I can't afford you. I can't afford more or less. More or less? Sorry, more or less? Bring it in. I didn't really need Star Shop anyway. What I needed was water. You get back to work. You keep looking. You look for my next bride. Okay, what you got for me? You better be good, or you're dead. I'll get the magic gun. I don't care. You buy ore. Oh, you piece. You sell. No, wait. Which one? I can sell you. You sell me ore. You sell me oxide. You sell me oxide. Oh, you sell me oxide and unprocessed ore. Ooh, I wonder what that could be. It could be anything. You sell me oxide. You sell me oxide. Oh. We gotta set that up. We gotta set that up. We gotta set that up. Pure oxygen, we buy that. And it's cold, too. Do you know how rare that is? Okay, he's in purgatory. We can deal with that next time. We don't have an ice crush or anything, so it's a bit silly to set that up right now. We'd also need it to... It would vend to this machine and then immediately melt. If there was any gas in here at all, which there is, as you can see. So let's just finish this setup first, shall we? So basically what this is just a volume pump I can turn on and off as and when we need to move a little bit of liquid around. I'll give that the traditional spray. You actually want this pipe to be as short as possible. That's just where the whole thing fits. And this way I can also still run chutes. Okay, so you're maxed out. You will pump a volume. I'm going to screw you in. And we should see... You've got 28 liters of liquid pollutant. Why is it not moving? That is the output, yes. Ah, does this pump... Oh, interesting. Does that pump the liquid as well? It does. It does pump the liquid as well. Okay, so the valve was closed. That was the problem. I see. Oh, do you know what we could do? Oh, here's a clever thought. We could cool this line using an air conditioner. And then we could set up integrated circuits here to only pull gas in once it's below, we'll say, what, 25C or less? Oh, yes. Yes, that could work. Oh, yeah, that could work pretty well, actually. So these two could just run, right? I don't really care. I don't care what temperature I don't really care what temperature this is, and I don't want this CO2 to get too cold. I want that to be filtered out pretty quickly. But everything else in there, we don't mind cooling down. Yes, that's pretty smart. We haven't got the oxygen just yet, but we do still have an extra one of these. And it's an we can make an air conditioner out of it. We would kind of just run everything together, right? Am I crazy? Which line do you need? That's waste. That's the output. The input. The waste is the one that gets heated up, and that we want that to be this. Oh yes, hold on. This makes perfect sense to me. So much like the greenhouse, we can cool this line down using the night gas. We do still need to figure out how to purge the night gas, and I have been reading your comments. There's been some really good ones, so we will be testing some of those out probably next episode. But this could totally work. This could totally work. He said, with very little faith, that it will work. Okay, so you are the output. You need to go back to here. And you are the input. We want to cool the line that we are connected to. That makes perfect sense to me. You bring air in through there. You put it out through there. And then we connect the waste to here. And this is our night gas line. Perfect. And using the power of nothing, we can make ourselves some cold gas. Yeah, this is a good idea. This is a good idea. And that way, we don't have to cool each gas individually. We just cool all the outputs, because we're not going to do this forever. This is literally just whenever we need a specific gas, we can extract it using ores. We might as well. And we can use, I mean, the code we use will be the same for all three of these, which means we could actually probably do it with just one chip. Maybe we'll put it in this one. We tell it to talk to the machine, and we can also connect D0 and D1 to each of these, because I think it can read the input pressure, or the input temperature, sorry. That should work, and then that will turn on its filtration mode. And again, we want to siphon these out as soon as they're ready, basically. So even when they're hot, that's fine. Okay, well then what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue running ores through this until it stops working. As long as they don't ignite, it doesn't matter. By which I mean, I want to also see which ores produce what. That's kind of what we really want to figure out. We can sort out the rest of this next time. So we know gold produces oxygen. We don't want to add that through. Let's see what nickel gives us. I'm very interested to know. Just going to make sure we don't accidentally alloy these. Nickel produces nothing. Unless I've already off-gassed that nickel. That's very, very plausible. That's probably what's happened here. Yeah, okay, cool. I was like, oh, that can't possibly be right. That would have to be a bug. No, I must have off-gassed it already. This is a new stack of copper, so let's try this. What does copper give us? Copper gives us nitrogen, CO2, and pollutant. More pollutant. Okay, we are actually getting a whole bunch in this tank, and it's fairly cold because, again, it is liquefying. And that is cooling everything down. Lovely. I think when it gets below 100 C, it'll stop the off-gassing process. I think that's the cutoff line. I don't remember exactly. It's like 350 Kelvin, 380 Kelvin, something like that. I don't know exactly what the temperature is in C. I could just do the simple calculation to figure it out. But yeah, if you thought I'd do that, you wouldn't be watching this channel now, would you? Okay, and we got more and more pollutant liquefying. So I'm just going to let that continue. Because it's high enough pressure. I mean, someone did suggest doing this, so thank you for the suggestion. Okay, so copper gives us CO2, nitrogen, and pollutant. Cool. So we are going to be getting pollutant, so it's worth having this liquefaction setup ready to go. We might as well run the rest of the copper through. And we can go ahead and just turn this into ingots. And I don't mind making it all ingots, because again, we can just use the stackers, to split this up whenever we want to. Okay, so iron gives us pollutant and CO2 and nothing else. Okay, a bit underwhelming there. I'm really interested to see at what temperature this will stop working. Because we've already shaved off 40 C and we've just got a bunch of free gas as a result. We've got 35 liters of liquid pollutant. That's pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good deal, man. And of course, once we pump it out here, it is going to cool down. And we are still processing the ore, so yeah, that looks like it's good. What are we down to now? 118. And temperature is rising again? And I assume that is because of the condensation. It's the evaporation that causes cooling. So why don't we actually just put that on for a second, vacuum out all of our delicious pollutant liquid. There we go. Basically, I think we're just opening the valve is what's happening there. And we can actually go ahead and run some more iron through it. So what I'm really interested to see is what gold, silver, lead give us. I don't know what cobalt gives us either. I'm going to just assume it's pollutant. Again, I think a lot of stuff is just going to give us pollutant. Probably no surprises here, but I imagine this just gives us a bunch of CO2 and pollutant. No surprises whatsoever. I mean, that was a lot of CO2 as well. And some temperature. Very interesting. Okay, all the pollutant in our furnace has basically liquefied itself right now, which is very funny. I've dealt with my moodlets so that we don't implode. Let's go ahead and see what these give us. So I'm specifically interested in cobalt. Cobalt does produce volatiles. Okay. So we cannot run cobalt through this furnace. There's no reason to do it. We don't want to do it. We don't need to capture volatiles ever. In fact, I want to consider them basically a waste product at this point. I don't want to see them. I don't want to hear about them. I don't ever want to look at them again if I can help it. Okay, but now I got a bunch of stinky volatiles in here I'm going to have to siphon out, which is really annoying. Which means we're going to have to put all that stuff in this pipe. which means that the pollutants are going to start liquefying, which is going to stress my pipes out. They're very nervous. Okay, but the CO2 should get filtered out by this. It's quite slow, but there are, 2,000 kilomoles, which is a hell of a lot more than we need, which means we won't have to siphon any off the night gas, and that is colder, right? Like, that's 130C, that's 163C. Just by doing this, we have siphoned off a bunch of heat. This isn't, like, super critical, but it doesn't hurt to be doing this, right? Pipe stress is a little high. I might have liquid... It's just because the pollutants are condensing. I mean, they'll evaporate once the pressure gets low enough. So we just gotta wait a second here, basically. You know what? Just vacuum it out. Let the pipe do its thing. I'm not too worried about that. I don't think it's gonna blow up. We're only at like 2% stress. Insulated pipes, pretty tough. Just want to get the volatiles out of there so I can see what the lead gives us and then what the silver gives us. But we do have to get all those volatiles out of this pipe, every single one, before we continue. Which means that needs to be running. Yeah. And they are indeed decreasing. Very slowly. Okay, all the volatiles are out of our advanced furnace. Awesome. Go ahead and turn off that pump and then turn on the influx just to heat it up again. And again, actually, I don't want too much in there. We want to cool that. Well, actually, no, we don't want to cool that CO2 down, do we? That's our quote unquote smelting gas. So let's go with like 3 megapascals. That seems good. And let's see what the silver does. So let's off gas this stack of 212 just to see what we get out of it. And we get nitrous. Very interesting. Nitrous pollutant and nitrogen. No CO2, though. No CO2. Okay, we cannot put that in this line until such time as the volatiles have been dealt with. But that is very interesting. Okay, this silver is now basically useless to us, though, so we might as well run that through our other furnace. So I don't accidentally think it's going to... I use this as smelting fuel, and I think I will continue to do so. Yeah. I think we're just going to process that. We might be able to sell it at some point. But yeah, that smelts pretty easy. I'm not too worried about that. So then the last two are just the gold and the lead. Okay, so we've got, let's say, a lot of liquid nitrous. We do not want to pump that into this tank right now. Not yet, anyway. Liquid nitrous, huh? Very cool. And this tank is, yeah, it's hot enough and high enough pressure that the liquid pollutant has moved around. Should we go ahead and add this? I'm a little sus. Let's add it. So let's just add like 5 lead. What did you produce for me? I'm gonna have to add more lead, aren't I? Let's add 66 lead. You make nitrous as well. You're also a nitrous kind of guy. Very interesting. Okay, lead makes nitrous. Note to self. And it smelts. At 130C, it melts. That makes sense. Okay, so the final piece of today's puzzle, the coup de grace. Can we get a little bit of... that's not what I meant to do. Can we get a little bit of oxygen through this thing? Yes, we can. 4 gold, was that? 4 gold gave us 0.8 moles of O2. It's not exactly something you'd write home about, is it? What if I ran the whole thing through? How much oxygen does 320-ish gold give us? If it's anything less than like 300, then this is absolutely not a viable way to get oxygen. That 300 oxide with the trader is worth like 50x what this is. But hey, it's worth checking, right? 63.8 moles of O2. A bunch of other crud, but mostly 63.8 moles of O2. All right, pretty good data. Very valuable, very cool to have learned. I'm glad we did this. I now think I understand that I didn't make a massive mistake by not pursuing this sooner. I think that as interesting as it is not like the be-all and end-all of this playthrough, and I don't think we've like lost out on a lot by not doing this sooner. We probably could have had maybe 400 or 500 more moles of O2 at this point, which would represent maybe 20% more over what we've made, but we also haven't really been pushing to make more. Yeah, look at that. We've got 4,000. we haven't really been pushing it, so I'm not too worried. We can now get a whole bunch of oxygen from that trader, and we will use that to make water. Lots and lots and lots of water. I am thinking, I do have the insulated vending machine. Maybe what we do here is our last thing for today. Refrigerator vending machine, yes I do. I think maybe what we do here is the last thing today is communicate with this dude. He's not getting enough juice, huh? Oh, he's gone in 30 seconds. Damn, Hydro Harvest Haven. That definitely seemed like our kind of guy. Oh, well. Let's chat to this guy. Let's buy his stuff, because I'm pretty sure it'll just sit in there happily. Let's just buy one. Oh, I need my, my ticket. Okay, so let's just buy, literally just buy one of these. Okay, put it in my hand. Okay, and everything's a little bit on fire. Not ideal, including my landing pad. Hey. Okay, so that produces quite a lot of oxide. How am I gonna buy this from you? How do I get that into the vending machine? Am I gonna have to build a box around that and vacuum it out? I might have to. Might be worth it. See, he'll put it in my hands. It's not what we want. We want you to send it to my... Ah, Come back. Come back.
You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations and thank you. That puts you in the top 3% of viewers. Here's another video that YouTube thinks you're going to like, and here is a list of all the patron and channel member names. If you don't see yours on there, you can find a link down in the description where you can sign up and support this content directly. If your name is on there, well, you probably already know that, huh? So, what are you still doing here?